What's up, y'all? Nature Girl 30 here, and I happened to actually see Battleground early in the morning and finish it off this morning. And yeah, I'm doing this on my phone because for some strange reason, if I do it from my computer, it takes forever and a day to have it uploaded. I don't know why. I can't figure it out. But other than that, this is my 2 cents on Battleground 2017. I have seen so many reviews about this show, and it was all bad. Like, every single last one of those reviews were bad. But I'm going to give y'all my 2 cents about this review. Well, not this review. You know what I mean. About Battleground. But I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the matches. And then I'll give my own personal thoughts. I know I'm lollygagging around. But honestly, I like the New Day's match. I like the New Day's match with the Usos. It was a great way to start off, in my opinion. It got everybody hyped. It was an amazing match that had great chemistry in there. And I'm not going to lie, I think it was a bit too early that they gave the belts to the New Day. But other than that, it still was an amazing match. And maybe it's going to lead up to a few at SummerSlam. I don't know, maybe a rematch at SummerSlam. I got no beef if that happens. I really don't. Because it was a great match to watch. But after the Usos match with the New Day, it went downhill from there. Okay, in-ring wise, it wasn't bad. It was good wrestling. I have no problems with the wrestling skills. The only problem that made every single match on the card sour, except for the main event, and I'll get to that, was the finishes. The finishes made no sense. The finishes were weird. Extraordinarily weird. The weirdest one was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. That was one of the weirdest finishes I've ever seen because, number one, Baron Corbin had nothing to lose. So why give him a low blow? It doesn't make any sense. Why low blow Shinsuke and the Jewels if you weren't going to lose anything? Like, so what was the point of that? Seriously. And number two, you got the Money in the Bank briefcase. You win. Like, you're going to win regardless. If you win the match, great. If you lose the match, it doesn't matter because you're still going to win. You got the briefcase. So it doesn't necessarily make any sense at all what Baron Corbin did. And honestly, I am noticing that guy is caring less about anything. I mean, let's be real. He has a badass entrance. He has a badass finisher. And he also has a badass character. But he goes in like he doesn't care every single day. Like, he gives 2 craps about being there. Like, he'd rather be at home. I'm like, dude, you just got the Money in the Bank briefcase. Can you at least seem like that you're proud of it? I'm just saying. That's just me personally. But honestly, that was not a great match. Because the finish of the entire match just made it really sour. And what was really disappointing was the women's match, and I was really looking forward to it. The Fatal 5-Way with Tamina, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Charlotte Flair, and who else was... Oh, Lana. Yeah, she was in it too. And I probably did forget somebody, but yeah. But other than that, that match was extraordinarily disappointing. And mostly it was disappointing because of how rushed the finish was. I mean, it was back to back eliminations. It made no sense. Why make it so quick? If you literally thought that your main event was going to go overtime, then you should have fixed that a long time ago. Because it doesn't make any sense to have it finished off that quick. And not to mention they made such a big deal about Lana and Tamina teaming up that it was just nothing towards the end of the match. You got Tamina gone. They're like, okay, well, it's going to be Lana. Then Lana tapped out within 5 seconds. Come on. And yeah, we ended up getting Natalya as the winner, which kind of scratched everybody's heads because everybody and their mom thought it was Charlotte. Now, I actually did see on Twitter that a lot of people believe that losing to Natalya is going to be an insult. Wrong. Natalya is an in-ring veteran, and she has a massive amount of respect in the locker room. If anybody loses to her, it's an honor. Because the biggest honor, in my humble opinion, that put Charlotte on the map was that match between her and Charlotte for the NXT Women's Championship. That was an amazing match, and it got Charlotte noticed. Now, yeah, is she going to lay down for Naomi? I don't know. But I think anybody that goes up against Natalya ain't laying down, because Natalya happens to be a very good technical wrestler. And even though Naomi isn't, she's getting experience from her. And I think she's going to step up her A game when she wrestles Natalya at SummerSlam. So I don't think it's going to be a bad match. But I think it will be an honor if she loses to her. But I am hoping that Natalya somehow gets a title win, because she should. She hasn't gotten one in years. So I'm really looking forward to it. I got no beef with it at all. But honestly, let's move on from there to one of the matches that I was looking forward to the most, but had the most disappointing finish. And I'm talking about the U.S. title match between Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. The match itself was amazing. The wrestling was amazing. All the wrestling on the card was amazing. But this finish did not make any sense, to where even the Philly crowd got confused. You had no idea whether or not they had their... I mean, AJ Styles' shoulders was on the mat. He didn't move. He didn't twitch or nothing. Nobody knew what to expect. The entire match was back and forth all the way through. But here's my biggest beef. The WWE made such a big deal about AJ Styles winning the belt at the Madison Square Garden, or at Madison Square Garden. It didn't make any sense for him to lose it within 3 weeks. He had the belt only for 3 weeks to lose it to Kevin Owens. It doesn't make any sense. With a finish like that, it made no sense. They made such a big deal that he won it at Madison Square Garden. Why didn't they have him keep it? Better yet, why didn't they have Kevin Owens still keep the belt at SummerSlam if that was the case? It made no sense at all. And it was disappointing to see that. It just kind of ruined the match for me. It didn't make it horrible. It's just I wish it had a better finish. But let's move from there to a standalone match between Sami Zayn and Mike Kanellis. That match was pretty solid. It actually was pretty solid. It was decent. I had no beef with it at all. Mike Kanellis really truly act like a heel, but I feel like Maria's out of place. And their gimmick that they have, like the power of love, is out of date. They really do need to come up with something new, because this isn't working. And Mike Kanellis ended up losing against Sami Zayn on his first pay-per-view run. So I don't think that's a good thing. But the match doesn't make him look bad. I mean, my opinion, it was pretty solid. So I don't think that Mike Kanellis looks bad. It's just his gimmick is just out of date. And honestly, Maria looks like she's out of place. I'm just saying. That's just me. And we had the Fashion Files, but we had it X-File style, which actually was pretty funny. And I love everything about the Fashion Files, even though sometimes I think they're running out of ideas. And they were going to end it, and then here comes the Ascension saying it was them, but it wasn't. And then they ended up doing the whole founding footage style and having Fandango dragged away. I'm interested to see what's going to happen tomorrow. But I love everything about the Fashion Files, so I don't really have any beef with it at all. I want it to keep on going. That's the best segment on SmackDown. But moving on from there to the flag match. But the wrestling was great. It's just so many doggone rules. From what I remember, and yes, that's probably thunder because it is raining hard and thundering lightning outside. But anyway, from what I remember, in flag matches, all you had to do was just take the flag down and wave it, and you won. But now you gotta take the flag down, leave the ring, go up the ramp, put it in a stake in the ground like you were walking the moon or something. I'm like, why you have all these rules? Just take the flag down, be done. But then I'm like, no, that'd be too easy for Rusev. No, Rusev's gotta lose because he's foreign. But the reason why they had all these foreign matches, and I'm calling them that because that's what they were, was just to build morale for the States, because the States was in a war. For the whole Nikita Koloff thing, and also for the whole yeah, my mind kind of went blank for a second. But the guy from Iran, I know the Iron Sheik, that's it. With the Iron Sheik, with Nikita Koloff, with all those gimmicks around the 80s, it was because during that time we were going through a war. I'm sorry, there was the Cold War, and then there was also the Persian Gulf War. During that time, they wanted to build up morale in the States, and that's why they do all those foreign gimmicks. That's why they do all those foreign gimmick matches. It makes sense to build up morale for the States. Yeah, it makes the people from other countries look bad, but they had an overall reason for it. So in my humble opinion, I get that. It's not, I mean, I get it. But there's not really a big reason to do all that anymore. Because, well, the world has changed. So I'm wondering why they keep doing this gimmick and they keep thinking that it's going to work when it never does. But other than that, I wanted Rusev to win, but we all knew that Cena was going to win because it's Captain Cena. Yeah, we knew he was going to win. But other than that, let's move on to the main event. Oh boy. The Punjabi prison match with Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal, the modern day Maharaja. Honestly, I love Jinder Mahal because I love his Hail Maharaja gimmick. And I love his followers, the Singh brothers, or I always call them the Bollywood boys. And the fact that you got the Great Khali on your side, it's going to be a pretty awesome faction. It'll be a big royal faction. I'm fine with that. But other than that, the match itself was boring. I'm sorry. There was far too many rules that was really hard to wrap around. You had one door that was going to open for 60 seconds, then another door for 60 seconds, and so on. And I'm just like, okay, why do all that if you're going to climb out anyway? The whole point is trying to get out. And honestly, Randy was able to climb up and stretch over with no problem because he has legs like stilts. So he was able to cross over with no problem. So I'm like, what's with all these doors and these rules when you can just climb up, climb over, get out? Boom, done. But other than that, a lot of people were beefing about the fact that the Great Khali came back. I'm fine with that. I am. I was fine when that dude had Randy Orton by the neck just to have Jinder Mahal get out. I think they did a good job with that. I got no beef at all. And I am kind of looking forward to see where they're going to go with them from here. And I hope they have some kind of royal faction thing going on because I think that's going to be awesome. I really do. So I got no beef with Jinder Mahal having a whole modern day Maharaja entourage. I got no beef with that at all. But other than that, y'all, my overall opinion of this pay-per-view is this. It was average. And I guess maybe the Thunder doesn't agree with me. But other than that, this was a very average pay-per-view. Nothing wrong with it. Well, there was plenty wrong with it. But it was average. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't great. But it was average. But that's my thoughts. What were yours? Leave in the comments below. And let me know how you feel. Peace out. I'll see y'all later.